Oh, we love a new project. We love a new job. We love a new job.
Designation, XH558. Name, the Spirit of Great Britain.
That's a lot of playing.
This is the first time Guy's seen a Vulcan up close.
Look at that. It's just massive. It's the size of the sky. 45 tonne as it sits here. 93 tonne when it's full of fuel. 14 fuel tanks in that, 14 fuel tanks. No, it's quick, nearly, not quite, but nearly the speed of sound. It's like 700 odd mile an hour. That's a lot of plane.
The Vulcan was a remarkable leap forward. The concept was dreamt up in 1947 by Roy Chadwick, whose other celebrated bomber, the Lancaster, entered service just 5 years earlier.
Going from a Lancaster bomber to this in the space of 5 years, it's like nothing. It's like it's nothing like. You might say that it's a quantum leap. I wouldn't use that word. I haven't thought of the word yet that I'd use. But this is just, you know, one of those moments. Who's that? I've come up with that. It's one of those moments. Look at it, hey? Handled like a fighter, but then could drop massive nuclear bombs. You need to have a look in here. Is there any light? Will this camera be able to see that? She's cosy. She's cosy, mate. Right. Yeah, what we've got here is that's the pilot, number one pilot. That's the co-pilot. This is me on the stairs, and there is no space. You could not swing cats around in here. Here we have AEO, Air Electronics Officer. He looks after all the plane's electrical gubbins, and there is a lot of electrics on this. Nav Plotter, he looks after where the plane's going. And here we have Nav Radar. He looks after dropping the bombs. See this in the corner? See that? Manual bomb dropper, eh? That is a powerful button. So you're thinking, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and that's your suit warmer that took 90 minutes to warm. It recirculates the air in the engine bay to warm that up. 90 minutes! You've broken me! You've broken me! But she is busy. I press the button.
The only thing better than experiencing a Vulcan display from the ground is to watch it from the sky. The Blade's aerobatic team have flown alongside 558 on numerous occasions and are marking this, their final display together, by inviting a Spitfire to join the formation. And Guy.
All right, mate.
He'll be flown by Miles Garland, one of the Red Arrow's youngest ever squadron leaders.
Don't be shy, my mother wasn't.
So what's the craziest thing you've done?
What's the craziest thing I've done?
Yeah.
Just seconds after takeoff, Guy's within a wingspan of the Vulcan.
It's a bold statement, that, but I don't think there's anyone that's got any nearer to a flying Vulcan than me and Miles. I reckon I could have jumped onto the Vulcan like a bloody... You know, I could have... That's how close it was. It was going that slow, it looked like it was going to fall out of the sky. But it wasn't, we was doing 180 miles an hour.
can see the size of it in relation to the Spitfire.
The Spitfire is 20 years older than the Vulcan, yet is still nowhere near retirement. Which begs an obvious question.
There's a load of Spitfires flying. Why can't the Vulcan carry on flying? She's not as simple as that, mate. Because the Spitfire, it's cables, rods, linkages, you could build it in your shed. But the Vulcan could not be further from that.
It has 14 miles of cabling, more than 100,000 parts, and with no manual overrides, if there's a system failure, it can't be glided to the ground. With the engineering firms who guarantee her safety now running out of the old-fashioned skills needed to support her, 558 has to be retired.
Vulcan's going to accelerate away now, Guy. You might want to film it. Perfect. Vulcan in, go. Hey. Yeah, that's the flying with the Vulcan complete. Mega. Perfect, guys. Thank you very much.
I'm probably the last person that's going to get as near as that to a flying Vulcan. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No, Maxine. You've done that before.
Oh. Well, that's never going to happen again, is it? I've just all went to mush. I've just been sat the whole time just gazing at the thing. Just gazing at it. I'm still shaking my head. You give me a minute. Give me a minute. Have a cup of tea.
558 is fit to fly for now, but there's one safety aspect that has beleaguered the Vulcan through its entire life. Whilst the pilot and co-pilot up front had ejector seats, the design couldn't accommodate them for the crew in the back. Although there were no crashes during active service, there were several training accidents.
It was so difficult to get out of the Vulcan if you had to in a hurry. There was some nasty accidents which involved pilots getting out and rear crew not getting out. I lost quite a few friends that way. If they'd had ejection seats, they would have survived.
One of the first things we did was to say to our pilots, please guys, no mock heroics. If you've lost control of the aircraft, go. There's nothing you can do to help us, go.
They didn't fit ejector seats to the rear crew, but what they did do for us is the seats would swivel, and then we have what's known as a seat assister cushion.
Right, I get into that position there. I pull this lever on the side, which inflates that cushion there, like a whoopee cushion.
And you cannot fight it. If it goes off, it ejects you towards the entrance hole. Of course, there is a disadvantage that if you've got the undercarriage down, then just aft of the escape hatch is the nose wheel.
That front wheels are steering at me.
It's not going to do your dentures too much good.
I've got to somehow get down there and jump that way while avoiding that, while trying to pull my parachute. You what?
The way you had to go down then is you went down with your legs spread apart, so your feet slide down the outside of the hatch onto the hydraulic jacks, and then you reach over and catch the starboard jack.
Starboard? What side is starboard?
And you swing yourself out the side of the door.
Hang on, I've got my shoe caught on there now.
Hopefully to go down the side of the nose wheel.
I've got and now pull my parachute and try and miss that.
Even if the nose wheel wasn't down, an emergency exit was perilously dangerous.
Not terribly satisfactory, and not a lot of people have actually got out.
15 Vulcan crashes, all in all, and in 10 of those crashes, all of the boys coming out of that way died. 10 of the crashes. Odds aren't very good. I can see why.
One rear crew member who had to contemplate those odds was Peter West.
I heard this bang. Well, it was a bird strike. the two starboard engines burst into flame, and for the first and only time in my RAF career of nearly 35 years, I pressed the key and sent a Mayday message.
The plane was 558, the Vulcan Guy is working on.
People have said to me, "Oh God, 558 nearly killed you." On the contrary, 558 kept us alive. That aircraft with a big hole in the starboard wing stayed airborne.
Vulcan crews have always been considered amongst the elite. And next Guy will discover if he's made of the same stuff, as he's put in the cockpit and handed the controls.